Hey, thanks for tuning in to Grow by Joe. If you're an HVAC contractor and you're trying to understand what is the best loan option for you, well, you tuned into the right place. In this video, I'm going to compare the different loan options and how to choose what is going to make the most sense for you and your business. Stay tuned. First off, I just want to say thank you for being a contractor. I definitely respect and appreciate all you do. My name is Joe Camberato. I'm the CEO and founder of National Business Capital. I started my company from zero back in 2007, so I respect what it takes to build a business. Most importantly, one of our top industries has been lending to contractors and HVAC contractors. We've done over $2.5 billion of fundings. We've done 25,000 transactions, and a lot of those transactions have been to contractors all across the country. So you're in a really good place. I'm going to break down a few things that you need to know and talk about the different lending options that are out there. First up, as you know, we're in this ever-changing market. It's continuing to be harder and harder to get money from banks. The reason for that is banks today want to do big deals. They want to fund $10, $25 million plus transactions, even to the 50, 100 plus millions of dollars. For a typical small to medium-sized company that needs anything under $10 million, it just continues to get harder and harder. The other thing is banks are going to look at collateral. Collateral are B2B receivables. Collateral is inventory. Collateral is real estate or heavy machinery. So that's how banks are going to look at those things. Now, the problem that we find is with HVAC contractors, especially the ones that are doing residential, is you don't have the B2B receivables. You don't really have a lot of collateral. You're not holding on a ton of inventory. So a lot of times in a bank eyes, they're very hard to finance. If you are doing commercial work, you may have those B2B receivables, but a lot of times there's progress billing, and that's where banks and lenders get really concerned with that stuff. So the options become really, really restricted in the contracting world. And the contractors are not the most favorable industry from banks and non-bank lenders. But don't worry, there are a lot of non-bank lending options that are out there, and I'm going to talk through a few of those right now. Now, before I get started, different things that we're going to talk about today is how do you, finance the cash flow gaps? How do you just secure some standard working capital? How do you finance equipment if needed? And how do you fuel those payroll shortages when you're in between jobs? So I'm going to talk through all of those different things and some of the different products that are out there. So if you are if you are a commercial HVAC contractor and you do have B2B receivables, depending on your billing and what those receivables look like, we may be able to leverage those receivables and give you a revolving line of credit around those receivables. What's good about that is the more receivables you book, the more access and money that you can pull. And the great thing about that is it gives you the flexibility to keep taking on the next job, the next job, and the next job without having to wait to get paid from your clients. So that can be a really great product and tool to leverage. A lot of lenders that are out there that focus on those B2B receivables are really concerned by who you're getting paid and not necessarily underwriting your business that heavily. They're going to look at your business, they're going to want to see what's going on, but those products are actually much easier to access than you may realize. A lot of times people ask us about SBA loans. SBA loans are great if you want to buy a business, especially the 7A product. It's a 10-year product, meaning you can take out an SBA loan, you have 10 years to pay it back. But if you're growing and you need constant access to cash flow, I don't recommend an SBA loan because once you get an SBA loan, it's a long process. They're hard to renew and access more capital just because it's a very lengthy process. When you borrow an SBA loan, it locks up and they blanket lien usually everything in your business. So all of your assets will be locked up with the SBA loan. And then whenever you borrow, you're kind of capped out of that. And then you've got a lien filing against everything on your business. So it makes it really hard to work with other lenders. So I'd be really careful with SBA loan. I'd probably only use it if you're looking to buy out a competitor or acquire another company. Then it could be a really great tool. And the beauty of an SBA loan is you only have to put down 10% of whatever the purchase price is for whatever it is that business that you're purchasing. Another great tool that's not talked about enough, and most business owners don't even understand how to utilize it, is equipment financing. There are specific equipment lenders out there that will finance all types of equipment, including trucks and vehicles, all of your office equipment if you have a big office, or any of your tools and machinery that you have. Now, the beauty about working with an equipment lender is they have 5-year repayment options. When you use an equipment lender, whatever you're purchasing, the money that you're borrowing is secured against that equipment or those tools or those vehicles. So what's great about that is that the lien filing usually is just against the stuff that you're buying, so the machinery and the equipment or the vehicles, and you've left the rest of your business open for other working capital products like line of credit or term loan products. So that's a really good thing to know and understand, that if you have equipment purchases, you want to separate that stuff, use a specific equipment lender, and keep the rest of your business opened so you can leverage for other working capital products. Next up are revenue-based products. So if you don't have B2B receivables, if you don't have inventory, if you don't have equipment, you just need working capital, you're working direct to consumer, it's going to really all come down to your cash flow. There are lenders available today. There's some really great lending options actually out there now that have repayment terms that are 12 to 24 months long with competitive rates, and they can move quickly, and they don't have all the red tape that banks do, and where you can borrow usually all up to about $5 million, sometimes even a little bit more. It'll be purely based on your cash flow, your opportunity, and what you're looking to use the capital for. That can be a great option to consider if you don't have all those receivables and other things I mentioned. And then lastly, there are revenue-based term loan options available that have loan options that are anywhere from 12 to 36 months. They've got great rates. These also will have a little bit higher requirements than some of the revenue-based products, but not as much as banks. Super flexible. You don't need all the collateral. It'll be more focused on the business, your business, and the growth ahead. The great thing is again, if you're purchasing equipment, you can use an equipment lender for the equipment and then use another lender for a term loan or a revenue-based or a line of credit product, so you can really utilize and leverage your business in the best way. So that's why it's really important to understand, what are you looking to use money for, leveraging those right lending products. But most importantly, it really is important that you work with a business financing advisor or a lending group that has access to all of these different products. So if you're working with someone that can only offer you one product, that could be a challenge because then you have to work with multiple people. So you want to work with someone that's got the capabilities to talk about all this stuff, provide those right products so you can build a relationship and not have to shop around from lender to lender and get fatigued and frustrated. That's exactly why I started my company, National Business Capital, to really make your life easier so you don't have to shop around from lender to lender, and respect that your time is valuable. So we want to make sure that we eliminate all that time and aggravation, get you answers quickly so you can do what you do best, and that's stay focused on growing your business and taking on that next big job. If you want to get connected with my team, just check out the link below. They can answer any of your questions. They can talk further about all the different requirements with these different lending options. We can have a simple conversation. We don't even need you to fill out an application or send us your financial info. Through a 5 to 10 minute phone call, we could probably tell you exactly what you're going to qualify for, what it's going to look like, and then you can make a decision from there. I hope you found this video helpful. Keep growing, and thanks for tuning in. Be well.